Dr. Mark Tangizi here, their Science Moment. Why don't we just stop talking about COVID and the COVID interventions and the civil liberties violations and the lack of cost-benefit analyses and all of these things that we've been talking about, I've been talking about for 3 years. Well, COVID may be over, but the lessons have not been learned. Let me show you Matt Hancock. Here's a brief clip from Matt Hancock in the UK, someone that was behind the interventions there. And they're in fact doing an analysis about what happened over the last 2 years and trying to figure out how well or how poorly they did, what they should do next time. And you can see even before it's over, he's already concluded that, well, they should do lockdowns harder and longer and deeper and earlier.
I'm profoundly sorry for each death that has occurred. All I can do is ensure that this inquiry gets to the bottom of it and that for the future we learn the right lessons so that we stop a pandemic in its tracks much, much earlier and that we have the systems in place ready to do that.
He's sorry, right? He's sorry. When you, at first glance, when you're watching this video, you're thinking, well, that's great. Maybe he realizes that these interventions, in fact, didn't work. They all, in fact, had radical harm, medium, and long-term harm, and a very acute harm. In fact, many of these excess deaths that occurred worldwide in March and April were themselves due to the panic reactions, the changes in medical and societal practice. So the reason that we have to continue is that even though COVID is over, the authoritarian paternalism that was there and the righteous beliefs that they can control pandemics and have the right to control civilization, control the movement, what we wear, what medications we take, what jobs are allowed to persist, what companies are allowed to persist, and what speech is allowed. All of these things are still on a train forward. We're pushing back in my lawsuit against the federal government for First Amendment violations. There's many lawsuits in all of these realms, but those that were involved in much of the world that fell into this righteous collective hysteria still believe they did the right thing. They still believe that we deniers, we anti-vaxxers, we who are against the lockdowns and the interventions and who minimized the risks of COVID are evil. Right? We really were evil. And they have learned zero lesson. They are wanting to do it again, and they're going to do it harder and longer and earlier. And this is why you and I won't shut up about it, because it's exactly these sorts of righteous movements to help us are what destroy us. And that was your Science Moment.